never ends. I escaped a land of dark magic, only to have it hunt me at every turn. It is a plague burned into my flesh and my soul. And now I find myself in the company of even more mages.
You can speak to me directly.
I saw you casting spells inside. I should have realized sooner what you really were. You harbor a viper in your midst. It will turn on you and strike when you least expect. That is in its nature.
My sister is stronger than you think.
You tell him, brother.
I'm not blind. I know magic has its uses, and there are undoubtedly mages with good intentions. But even the best-intentioned mage can fall prey to temptation. And then their power is a curse to inflict upon others.
No one's stopping you from moving on, you know.
I imagine I appear ungrateful. If so, I apologize, for nothing could be further from the truth. I did not find Denarius, but I still owe you a debt. Here is all the coin I have, as Anso promised. Should you find yourself in need of assistance, I would gladly render it.
Are you going to have a problem with my companions?
I will watch them carefully if we travel together. I can promise no more.
Your old master must want something more than just a runaway slave.
He doesn't want me at all, just the markings on my skin. They are lyrium, burned into my flesh to provide the power that Denarius required of his pet. And now, he wishes his precious investment returned, even if he must rip it from my corpse.
Perhaps you can find a way to pay him back.
I will pay him back. In blood. You have no idea what he's done to me. What I went through just to get away.
I was only trying to help you.
That was unworthy of me. The truth is, I know nothing of the ritual that placed these markings on me. It was Denarius's choice, one he now regrets.
I've seen some of your abilities. Do they come from those markings?
Some. All I know is that even in the Imperium, warriors such as myself are rare. Perhaps they believe I should feel honored.
Do you think your master will keep chasing you?
He is too proud not to. Perhaps one day the hunt will cost him more than he is willing to pay, but I doubt that matters any longer.
I'm planning an expedition I might need help with.
Fair enough. Should you ever have need of me, I will be here. If Denarius wishes his mansion back, he is free to return and claim it. Beyond that, I am at your disposal. Grigio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Denarius used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said, which he enjoyed.
You were his servant as well as his bodyguard.
I was his slave. I propped up the furniture when he was so inclined. It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You've had a difficult life.
I'd rather not speak more of it.
Are you certain? I'm willing to listen.
To my whining? Very charitable of you. I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I grew up in Ferelden. It will always be my home.
The Blight is over. You could rebuild what you lost. Do you truly not want to?
I have to admit, it's an attractive idea.
But not now. I understand. Still, to have the option must be gratifying.
Do you intend to keep living here?
I haven't decided. For now, it's as good as any other place. I would return to Saharan if I could, but there is no life for me there.
Is that where you're from?
So I've been told.
Were you very young when you left then?
Perhaps.
You could track your former master down, I assume?
I imagine he has returned to Minrathous, though I dare not go near the city while he is alive. No, it is better to wait for him to leave his fortress, fight from a fortified position. I do not expect your help when that day comes, but I would not turn it aside.
You've been on the run a long time then.
3 years now. Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
If you're looking to start a life, you could stay.
I could see myself staying, for the right reasons. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters. Had I known Ansar would find me a man so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
It turned out well enough.
It did at that. I will not keep you longer. Another time, perhaps.
Hello fellow gamers, here's Brigade 70. I would like to give you my review on the quest Bait and Switch. So here we are. Fenris, the last regular character in our party, makes his debut late at the end of chapter 2. The only one that is missing so far is Sebastian Vale, Prince of Starkhaven, whom we already encountered but will first join us in chapter 3. Let's talk briefly about the quest first before we go deeper into the character of Fenris. This quest surely didn't start like we were to meet that elf. After all, we were hired by a dwarf. There must be a Gimli-Legolas connection somewhere in Kirkwall. And man, did we again kill bad guys in the dozen. I never knew that so many people could fit into an old small shack. I liked best when they formed a circle around us, when we came out of the house in the alienage. No problems here. And then he comes, ripping the heart out of the annoying mercenary in the Terminator style. Was that cool? Yeah, it was. Somewhat. I was, however, missing the "I want your leather jacket, you horse, and your sun goggles" line. That would have made it perfect. I sit here, calm as hell, and don't care that I have been used and endangered for the 1000th time. I am, in the meantime, beyond such minor irritations. So, let's talk about Fenris. I will from now on only refer to him as the Voice. Fenris is a romance option for the male and female hawk, and I bet that he is the favorite romance options with all the real females out there. I could not have written or designed him any better if I had to design a female romance option. Alone, the background story cries out for this character to be loved, so let's talk about what makes him so attractive to the female players. Obviously, he is an elf, but he has the cutest shimmering eyes in the game. What do I say? He has the cutest eyes ever. BioWare has done a tremendous job here. I'm sure women and girls alike would like to drown in them. His voice is so hot, it alone could ignite timber. Man, that is a new definition of boss. He is kick-ass, slender longsword wielding scythe of death. Come on, he has white hair. Dritz to Urden, anyone? He's arguably the most handsome bloke in the game, if not the greasy Anders looking guy is your thrill. But most importantly, this character has suffered a lot. He was a slave all his life, tormented, and his emotional scars are also seen physically burned into his veins as a constant reminder of the injustice he had to endure. Every woman must long for his embrace, dream about of kissing those scars to ease his pain and bring back some joy into his dark and violent life. I'm sure he wakes a good portion of mother instincts in our girls. He fulfills the same purpose like Meryl for the boys what that concerns. I think BioWare did a tremendous job here. If he were a vampire prince, then he would just be every inch and pixel of perfection. Just kidding. Forgive me. I think, and most women will agree, that he is just hot. Many men call him the emo elf, but I really see nothing wrong with him. I think Fenris wins over women hearts on many different levels. As I am a man, I'm somewhat immune to his charms. I only have one complaint with him. He is an extremist, like Anders. I can see why he is, and in many things he says, I must admit he has a point. Look at chapter 4 and you see he absolutely has. There are mages with good intentions, but much harm has been done in a will to do good. The sheer amount of blood mages and demons we have encountered so far absolutely prove him right in his attitude. I only hate to have that constant aggression level in the group where they are at each other's throats in an aggressive rather than an amusing manner. Fenris isn't actually the jester type everyone likes to have around, so I leave him at home most of the time. I absolutely think that he's a great character and romance option in spite of my personal preference.